Beautiful people, welcome back again to another video. If you are new in this channel, this is Queen Sharon Entertainment, a home of freedom fighters. If you haven't joined our family yet, join us by hitting the red button down below on the bell notification icon. So whenever we have a new video in this same channel, you will get notified. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you all. So my people, I have a video here that I want you all to watch, and I myself will be watching with you in this particular video. Feel free to let me know what you think about the video after watching on the comment section below. Like and share this video, and I will see you again in my next one. Bye.
Nnamdi Kanu has suffered enough. I remember the time that Nnamdi Kanu formed Biafran BSS. I saw the inauguration of that BSS, though I was younger. I commended him. He was one man I said that God has sent to lead us out of Egypt, which is out of this Fulani, whatever they call them. I had papers, or it's not today, so from the time I was in the service, my nieces, they will now have, they introduce what they call, quota system, all to be against us. That quota system, they themselves, to enter university, they will not even have any marks. Whereas the brilliant Biafrans that God has given us a gift, they will say, oh, you must have your last mark must be either 200 and something or 300 before you can enter university. And then the northerners will enter with low marks. So when they have graduated, the one we've told they graduate, they will now work in their state for 2 years and then transfer to civil service in the federal. And they will be bossing those who are very intelligent, more intelligent than them. I know my niece, who was a director in DC, in federal. Give her to answer. Yeah. So that my niece was a director, but the outside person will come to boss and not to talk about my husband. My husband, the textile mill they established in is it on Kaduna? Textile mill. My husband worked for David Whitehead in England, Manchester. And it was David Whitehead that came to, and they told my husband, oh, my son, and you be a big one. But nationalization policy of Ahmadu Bello, they will not take my husband. Even though Sir James Robertson was the last Oibo, what do you call it? Harold Wilson and Lord Rhodes, who trained my husband, gave a letter to my husband to give to Sir James Robertson, who was the last Oibo, weather general also. Then Sir James Robinson wrote a letter, gave to my husband to go to Kaduna for them to employ him. They refused to employ my husband with all his knowledge because of nationalization policy. And so it's not a thing of today. I said I bring you paper where they published about this Hausa Fulani, they used to call them at that time. They used to take all positions. So they killed the civil service. Even when we talk about what do you call it, corruption, that's the time corruption started. You understand? So my advice is that let us not have Biafra that will be like Nigeria. Nigeria is already dead. I want us all to have one mind with one love to attain Biafra. Otherwise, it will not work. I cry for Nnamdi Kanu every blessed day. I cry for my husband every blessed day. Why? Because after the February Naijadeltabiafra war, when me and my husband went to Ipob, they were so happy because they didn't know that my husband was alive. Yeah. They were very, very happy. The reception. And my husband so believed in Biafra. So he had a cousin, one Justice Agidi. He's my husband's cousin. He's late now. He came, he told my husband, he said, is it true that this genocide is really true? My husband said, yes, it's true. So please, let us not give in to these Fulani people. You have seen what has happened in Afghanistan now. Eh? So let us work together to chase the enemy out. What population do they have? Do they have population more than us? But if we don't unite, like they buy some of our Ipob so-called politicians, Ngige them, and all that. Nyawoda, I called Nyawoda, my husband called Nyawoda from the hospital. We spoke with Nyawoda. When I said Nyawoda, please support Ipob, support Nnamdi Kanu, he banged the telephone on me. I've not called him since. I'm happy that Mbazulika Amaechi is changing now. Because my husband spoke with him. He said, what do you think about? Why don't you people support all these young people? They are old, we are all old. Let them leave the young people to really, because all over the world now, young people, they rule now. So please, my appeal is please, let us work together, see how we can get our leader out of that dungeon.
Okay, Mommy, you made mention of Naijadeltabiafra. You say you called him and you asked him to support the young Biafra activists, to support Nnamdi Kanu. What was his response?
He banged the telephone on me.
Okay.
Yeah. But what happened is that my husband worked under Naijadeltabiafra's father. Naijadeltabiafra's father was the minister then in the Eastern region. So my husband was the only industrial officer in the Eastern region. He worked under the Naijadeltabiafra. So when Naijadeltabiafra was appointed Ohaneze, we called him to congratulate him. It was later I learned that the father was even a saboteur. But as at that time when they made him this thing, my husband and I called him. So my husband and I told him, say, I worked with your daddy. You hear me? We are happy that you're young and we hope that you're now going to encourage these young people. You hear me? So he was happy. He said, where are we? So that we have to meet. The second time I now called him because there was an information. In fact, I'm waiting for Biafra to be formed before there was, let me say, I don't know whether I don't want to reveal it. So I called him. I said, listen, there is something that I would like the Igbo people to benefit. But I don't want to discuss it with anybody except, So he said, okay, if I can, that you are traveling to Lagos. So he gave me Ekweremadu's number. I called Ekweremadu more than 25 times. Ekweremadu didn't pick up. And by the way, Ekweremadu was the best friend of my nephew, my young nephew, who is at Abuja, who did computer. The name is Kene. And since Ekweremadu now crossed over, became a politician, if you see what Ekweremadu did to my nephew. My nephew had got a company, Oyibo people brought them to come, to go and see Ekweremadu, to see. Ekweremadu sort of didn't even. The wife just looked down on my nephew, Ekene. Ekene told me, all the same, since Ekwenema didn't know me, I called him over 25 times, he didn't pick up. I said, okay. Nyawodo had said that he would spend only 3 days. When he came back, I called him. Me and my husband share. So he said, who gave me the number? I said, what? How did you get my number? I said, what do you mean? So you don't know me again? Are you not in Nyawodo? He said, no. I said, what's your name? He said, it's Engineer Adeyemi. I said, so in the alliance in the Adeyemi, okay, no problem. So I called my nephew at Enugu. You may hear of Atomanko. They buried him in December because he is a publisher. He is also a fighter. I have all my nephews, they are fighters. So I called him, I said, look, Nyawodo is telling me now that it's Engineer Adeyemi. My nephew said, don't mind them. This, because that time, they were blaming Ipob. Anything that happened, they will be blaming Ipob. So he said, what they don't know is that the things that these boys go do them, all these politicians, that's my nephew. Yeah. So anyway, since he said he was coming back in 3 days' time, when I called him, he now said, how did you get the number? That he said, Engineer Adeyemi. So we left it at that. After several times again, my husband now called him. He didn't pick up. Then they now admitted my husband. So in hospital, UBTH. So my husband was calling him from UBTH. I was calling him from the house. Each time I come back to, because I will sleep at UBTH with my husband. In the morning, I come back to have a bath and eat, then go back to hospital. I was calling him. So I now got him again. I said, Nyawodo, I don't know, did my husband get you? Because he been calling you, couldn't get you. You know, that time, you know, same be in the day and me again. So I said, then I got him. I said, look, Nyawodo. I said, why don't you cooperate with Nnamdi Kanu? So he banged the telephone on me till today. I didn't talk to him again. Numbers that I said I would call because I saw the comment he made and all that, which I didn't like. But I believe now that he's changing. So let me hope that all those old politicians will change for good. Yeah.
Okay. Mommy, you know, we have a lot of followers and a lot of viewers as well. You know, some are demanding to know you, some asking for your name. Can you repeat your name again once again before we proceed?
My names are Faith Nebechuku Debekene Mrs. Lee Ikejan. I'm a daughter of Reverend Canon Ikejan, J.E. Ikejan. My mother is Mweluti Ikejan.
From where?
From Anambra, Nri.
Okay.
Aguku Nri.
Okay.
Married to Chiki E. Debekeme.
Okay.
You know, of his job, Bayelsa.
Okay.
Ndoro, say Ndoro, Toru Ndoro, Bayelsa.
And you and your Biafra are proudly in support of Biafra and also in support of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Ipob.
Why not?
Okay.
I told you that even the stamp we had and matches, I kept them.
Yes.
Even the Biafran money, what I had, I kept them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That will be a story of next time when you will review the Biafra items you got during the war. Earlier on when we were speaking, you made mention of how you and your family took care of the Biafra children that were starved and other things. Can you throw more light on it? How you took care of Biafra refugees during the war?
Yes, during the war, we were to worry. You understand? Because, during that war, we had a lot of friends. We had connected Wandu, that were builders, they're builders. So they were looking for an expatriate builder. So we had one expatriate family. They were my very good friends in Manchester. So we now connected them with Wandu. I don't know that you people go down about Wandu and Okafu at Enugu, Beza at Enugu. So they now employ this expatriate. So the man came with the wife. You understand? So we were getting information about, because at that time, now war between Ojukwu and Gowon. Are you hearing me? But the expatriates used to have their meeting. After meeting, those of them that are friends will come and tell us, look, what is happening. So they told us that war will start from Nsukka. But they said, tell your people, war will start from Nsukka. When you tell some of them, like, for example, Dr. Obonia, from MBC, then Mwaga is also from MBC. These are people that are ministers and commissioners. They call them commissioners, but that time they used to call them ministers. So when you tell them, say, don't worry, because I was slim and young, they say, don't worry, Hausa people waiting. I said, don't say Hausa people waiting, they know. But anyway, eventually, war started from that Nsukka sector. So then, Ojukwu had to tell the expatriates to go, you understand? But that man that we connected with one with them, he didn't want to leave Biafra. But when he now left, when they were forced to leave for their own life, he committed suicide on board the ship because he didn't want to leave Biafra. Anyway, the war now started. After the war, now we had to come. I now discovered my husband Ijo belonged to Midwest or Bendel. And then the Asika, who was the one he did administrator water for the Eastern region, now said all non-Igbos should go. That we should go. Now civil servant, because me and my husband we were senior civil servant. So, but instead of going to Rivers State, I said no, because I'm a fighter. You cannot, if something is for me, then you tell me that I don't belong, I will not take it. So we now came over here. By that time, that was 1971, I transferred my services to here. Yeah, but before then, my husband, I had not been to my husband's place. So in 1959, I went to my husband's place to see the plight of the Jaws. So I was crying and shedding tears. How could they be treated like that? So when I came here now, I had to fight for them. Not fight by carrying, ammunition, anything. But they had what they called the Rickefel's Commission. I went to give evidence here. So I told the Rickefel's Commission that no government will be able to understand the plight of the Jaws, except a government of the same, that have the same ecological problem like them. Because if you're to say
Thank you so much for watching that particular video. Feel free to let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Like and share this video, and I will see you guys again in my next one. Bye.